Welcome back to my channel, Fixing It Up with Sandra. And in case you didn't know, I'm Sandra. Today we are going to be making a wreath. However, it's going to be completely different. It's going to be unlike any other wreath we've made so far. So I'm going to take it up a notch. We are going to do a flower wreath. I'm so excited. I do have to be very honest with you guys. This is the very first time that I am making this style of a wreath. I'm lying. So I've made a sunflower before. This is the first time I will be using multiple meshes in this fashion. So what's going to be great about it is that you're going to see mistakes. You might see a little frustration. You might see all of those things when it comes to learning a new method. But I'm also going to show you how to do or not to do these new steps. I am so excited to get this wreath completed because I'm just really excited for this new technique. And there are so many more wreaths that I'm gonna make this way, but we're just gonna jump in head first. We're gonna do the cannonball into the flower wreath. We're gonna do multiple layers with multiple different types of mesh. So this is gonna be one for maybe some of those advanced people, even beginners, because like I said, I'm a beginner. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen with this wreath, but we're all gonna do it together. I wanna show you some of the tools that we're gonna be working with because like I said, I haven't really used and I haven't shown you any of these tools with the previous wreaths. So let's jump on in, let's look at the table. I'm gonna show you what I got and I'm gonna be very thorough. I actually have a recipe for this wreath. So let's get started. Okay, so like I said, we're gonna be using some stuff that I haven't really shown you before. Yes, I have all of my room sprays right there. All right, what we've got here is a wood burning tool. I picked this one up at Dollar General, and I think it was about 10 bucks. So we are gonna be using that. Look at this mesh that I have right there. Okay. This is a unique mesh that I saw at Michael's, and I'm like, I have got to figure out something to make with this. So we are going to be using this today. This is a poly burlap mesh. We're going to be using that. We're also going to be using a white mesh, which is a white fabric mesh. We're going to be using this one. We're going to be using a poly burlap mesh. And this is a jute mesh right here. We're going to be using that as well. We're going to have a centerpiece like this. And I will explain all of it. I'm just kind of showing you what I've got here. And I do have glass on top of my mat so I can use my wood burning tool. And we're going to use some of this rope right here to create a centerpiece. Like I said, we're about to get real creative, and with fingers crossed, this is gonna come out exactly the way I have it in my mind. Okay, so like I showed you on the table, we're gonna be working with all kinds of stuff. You do not have to use the same amount of mesh that I'm using. You don't have to use the same kind of mesh that I'm using. This is something that I am doing because I want the layers and the colors and all of that other stuff. So if you have your own colors, your own fabrics or types of mesh that you want to use, please feel free to do that with this tutorial, okay? So what I want to start with, I'm going to show you the frame that I'm working with today. So today I am working with a 12-inch frame that I picked up from Michael's, okay? So you can see how many levels it has. I'm just gonna call them levels. So I'm gonna show you how many levels they have, how many bars, and then there's all these crossbars right here. We'll get into that in a moment. But what's different about this is that I added a centerpiece. Now, I know I didn't cut off those other zip ties because I wanted to show you, I know y'all know how to cut off a zip tie, but I wanted to kind of show you that this is what I did. Okay, you're probably wondering, where the heck did you guys where did you get that centerpiece? All right, I got it on thewreathshop.com. This is why I was waiting for that shipment, because I'm like, I need this. Okay, so I bought a big sheet, less than $2. You can see how much of it I used. What I did is I took my frame, laid it on here, and traced out all the way around the edge, and then cut my circle out. So, and this is like a nice strong plastic right here. We're gonna use that again in just a moment, or not in just a moment, but towards the end. But then you're gonna zip tie it all the way around your frame, okay? Use as many zip ties as you want. There's no rules for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9 on here. Get it secured however you see fit. I am using ultra light duty 4-inch zip ties. These are my zip ties that I'm using. I found these at my local hardware store. They do sell zip ties at the dollar store. You can pretty much pick them up. You can get them on Amazon, anywhere. You know, they sell tools and stuff like that. So we are using 4-inch zip ties. Now, I'm gonna be very descriptive in a lot of this stuff, so I know if I'm going too slow, I do apologize. I just want this to be a really easy tutorial for people to follow, okay? So now we have this. This is what we've got right here, all right? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our first layer, okay? Our first layer is gonna be, we're gonna work with this mesh right here. Now, with this mesh, instead of cutting it with regular scissors or a roller cutter, scissors, or anything like that, we're gonna use a wood burning tool. Let me show you. This is the one, it's by Art Skills. Can you see that? I, again, got this at Dollar General for about 10 bucks. I have no idea what they cost on Amazon. I just know I went to Dollar General, saw it, and I bought it, didn't know what I was gonna use it for. It has now come in handy, okay? So we are going to use that to cut this mesh into 10-inch squares. Now, I do wanna say, I have a piece of glass right here that I've laid right on top of my mat, okay? And I've got it, you know, nice and lined up, okay? Because you do not want to use this tool directly on your mat, okay? This glass, let me just be 100% honest, I have no clue where it came from. It was left here in the house. It might go to a picture frame. I don't know. I did test it, so it can handle the heat. So I don't want to tell you what kind of glass you should use, but just know I'm probably using a picture frame glass. I'm not worried about it, nor do I care. It was free, I found it. And so, yeah, that's what I'm using. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these in 10-inch squares because we're going to make petals with them. Let me show you my first petal. I did create one. Ta-ta, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Ta, ta, ta. Okay, here is what our first petal is going to look like, okay? Oh, it's so cute. Now, do not beat yourself up if your petals do not align. See, I wish my petals laid in like that. If it doesn't happen, it's okay. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna bring the camera down and I'm gonna show you how this is done. Now remember, I didn't cut any of my, oh, sorry guys. I didn't cut any of my, I just cut that one. So we're gonna be doing this just as slow together, okay? So we are going to cut approximately, now I do know that I need about 20 of these, okay? Now, excuse me, if you've never worked with this, let me just say, as you can see, it's very airy, obviously. And it can bend and maneuver, you know, these aren't straight lines or anything like that. That is why I'm using my wood burning tool to sear the edges so it doesn't come unraveled, okay? So like I said, we're gonna do 10 inch squares. So I'm gonna go ahead. And please be careful with the wood burning tool. So I'm just gonna lay that right there. This is a delicate fabric, so just be really careful. Now, I'm trying to cut in between the squares. So like I wanna cut like in between these squares. Again, if you have this fabric, then this is what I'm doing with it. If you don't, and you're wanting to use something else, no worries. So I'm gonna cut in between. I'm gonna try to get as close to 10 inches as possible. All right. I want to say that this will stink a little bit. It is the risk that I am willing to take for crafting. Okay. I do have to say that this is oh so satisfying to use. Now, I will not bore you with all 20 cuts, but I will do this again at a different angle. Let me get you over here and prop you down even more so you can see what I am doing. Let's see if this will work. All right. I hope. Okay, so we're gonna do this and lay the scissors down. And let's see if I can do this one-handed. Let's see if I'm that talented. Find approximately my 10-inch. And I'm gonna slowly start the searing. As you can see, it is a little smoky, but hey. And this is very hot, so it doesn't really need too much pressure to cut. That's it. And it's done. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and cut 20 of these or burn 20 of these, and then I'll be right back. Hey guys, so I have approximately, I believe I have 20 of these cut. Now, I do wanna say, because of this material, even though I did use a wood burner, I wouldn't be surprised if some of this comes unraveled, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our little frame, have it right next to us, and get my zip ties right here. And we are gonna do what's called a Dean Michael design petal, okay? So we're gonna open this up and try to, again, if this is only if you're working with this material, get it as straight as possible, fold it into a triangle like this, okay? And I'm gonna just kind of straighten mine out. So you're gonna start with one edge, like right here. I'm just gonna fold this over, and then we're gonna scrunch. We're gonna scrunch, scrunch, scrunch. When we start to get to this one edge right there, I wanna fold that over and then kind of scrunch in, okay? And then you have a petal right here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and zip tie this to the best of my ability. And we have a petal. Okay, again, working with this fabric is a little different than most, so don't beat yourself up if you grab this fabric wondering what the heck can I do with it, and then it does not, it's not perfect, which is totally fine. So this is what I have. Okay, I'm gonna try to adjust it to be pretty like this, and we're gonna do this 20 times, okay? I will not bore you with every single 20 petal, but I will show you guys again. Okay, so we're gonna open up our fabric and we're gonna fold it over, okay? And we're going to, because it's starting to unravel right there, which is fine. I'm gonna fold it over like this, and then I'm gonna scrunch, and I'm keeping my hand on top because I just wanna try to keep it as flat as possible. I'm gonna fold this over and then scrunch. Now you can see where this is starting to unravel. I'm okay with that. You should be too. So then I'm gonna use my little zip tie. Now this can be a little tricky to zip tie one-handed. Now I'm not going to trim or anything until the very, very last step. I don't want to disturb anything, like even though it's not perfect, but I'm just gonna kind of tuck it in and fold it like so, okay? I'm gonna set that aside. I will do it one more time. Okay, so I already have one right here. So we're gonna do 20 of those, I believe. Yes, 20. We may end up doing 25, but right now we're going to just do 20. So again, I'm going to fold it over. Okay. Fold this little end in. Just scrunch. And in case you're wondering what that was, what style this is, it's a Dean Michael design petal, not pillow. And we're going to zip tie. All right. Doing this one-handed isn't so easy. Okay, there we go. And again, it's not perfect. Look how it's bowing out right here. But it's the fabric that I've chosen to work with, and I'm just curious to how this is going to look on our wreath. So we're going to do this for 20 petals, and then I will be right back with a pile full of these petals, because as you can see, it takes a little bit of time, but I'm just going to tuck that in. And then I kind of want my petal to, you know, kind of be like a little scoop like this. Oh, yeah, like that. So I'm just going to kind of tuck it in like that. And then just go, take your time with this. Have fun. Know that you're working with a material that isn't, especially if you got this. I now realize why this was on clearance at Michael's. And I wonder what other people have used this for. So if you have made anything with this specific, that one looks rough. I'm not even gonna lie, this one looks a little rough. But if you have used this mesh in anything, please tell me what you've made with it. I am so curious. This reminds me of like a harvest festival kind of mesh that you would work with. Again, I don't know how this is gonna look with my wreath, but it can't look bad because it's so cute. All right, I'll be back in 20 petals. Okay, so now I have, and I said 20, I actually need 29. I'm like the worst at math, so I do apologize for my incorrect counting. So what we are going to do now, so let me just say this. If you are a person that gets stressed out easily, and if you don't like a challenge, do not get this mesh. I found it easy to work with, I guess, because I really don't worry about things too much. But if you're like a perfectionist and all of that, don't get this mesh, because not every petal will be as beautiful as this. You're gonna get some kind of wonky ones, which is totally fine. I think it gives it character. So, but if you're looking for a challenge, definitely try this mesh out. I think they had, like, I got a white one too. I'm really curious. I'm like trying to think of what I'm going to do with this. Maybe another flower wreath with the white. But yeah, it will have a mind of its own, and you're just going to have to go with it. So again, warning, if you are a high stress person or somebody who gets frustrated very easily and likes perfection, do not get this mesh. So now what we got, about what I said, 24 to start with. We'll cut the additional 5 later on because I think I've only done 24. We're going to go ahead and start to attach it to our wreath, our frame. Okay, so what we're going to do, let me get you guys a close-up. We have this. Now it already has our zip tie on it, so it's being held together. You're going to go through a lot of zip ties in this tutorial. So we're going to take our first, let me just go ahead and, we're going to go at this crossbar. Okay. We're going to go to this crossbar. It's easier when it's laying down, like when the wreath frame is laying down. For some reason, I'm just doing it this way, but we're just going to go to our crossbar. The first one, or it's going to be, actually, I'm wrong. We're going to do the top one. Okay, so we're going to do the top crossbar. Do you see what I'm talking about? All right, so we're going to do that one. And we're going to lay our petal into that, okay? Now, I'm going to zip tie that down. And don't worry, I'm going to show you guys here in just a second. And then I'll lay the camera down when I do another one so you can see the different angle. See how that's on there? On this crossbar right there. See that? Ooh, how nice. Our very first petal. We've got 24 more to go. So anyways, then you're gonna cut this off. Now, I do wanna say, if you are very talented and you don't need to already do this step with the zip ties, you can just go ahead and not use as many zip ties and go ahead and put your zip tie in this crossbar, do the scrunch, lay it in here, one zip tie, bam, bam. Not happening for my first wreath. We're gonna use all the zip ties. So I am just gonna go with it. I've got 100 to go. I've got 100 zip ties here. I'm probably gonna use them all. So here's what we've got, okay? And now we're gonna lay the camera down so I can show you it in a much easier fashion. And sorry guys for the movement. I'm just trying to figure out how to lower this camera. Ba-bam. All right, so now we're gonna do it on the crossbar again. That's where we're gonna start. So we're gonna go to the second from the top, 1, 2, and then we're gonna have our zip tie ready like this. Gonna lay our petal in. Once I do this multiple times, this will get a lot easier. So we're gonna lay that petal in like that and zip tie. Oh, it's got bunny ears. Okay. I'm gonna get that bad boy down there as tight as I can. Cut this off. All right. Ooh, that's good. Too high of a... Okay, so now we've got, you can readjust, you know. All right, so now we've got bunny ears, okay? Now we've got bunny ears. Now what we're going to do is we're gonna take another set of petals, the same kind, okay? And we're gonna use the same bar right here that we're working on right here, and we're gonna lay 2 more petals right there. That way they kind of overlap the back ones, or the ones on the crossbar. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get my zip tie in there. Kind of lay it in there like that. Lay my petal, and then we're gonna go across. I hope this is making sense to you guys right now. Ooh. Don't worry, I wasn't injured. Then we're gonna cut that, and then we're gonna do it again. So we're gonna have a total of 4 petals on that bar, okay? All right, and we're gonna do 1 more right there. We're gonna lay this in our zip tie, and then close. All right. And what's so nice about this, when you do your petals and zip tie them first and then go back and then re-zip tie, is that when you first start out making this kind of a wreath, it gives you don't have to worry so much about, you know, if you want to, you have more freedom to use your hands because you're not going to let go of your whole petal. Okay, so that's what we have right here. Let me turn, see that? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all on this bar right here, Okay, we're gonna go around and do this. First, I wanna make sure that I have 1 on every crossbar. That's my starting point. So I'm just gonna go again. And again, I know that there's gonna be lulls. I'm so sorry. There's gonna be lulls where I'm not saying anything because I am trying to concentrate. My mouth sometimes goes way too fast for my brain, and right now I need all my brain power to do this. Okay, so we're gonna go right here. We're gonna go right here. I am so excited. I can't stand it. I wanna know how this is gonna look. We're not gonna do any ribbon. We're not gonna do any centerpiece. Yes, we are. We're gonna do it like the center of a flower. but no sign, none of the fancy little trinkets. It's just gonna be a bunch of mesh and petals. That's all it's gonna be, and it's gonna be stinking gorgeous if it comes out the way it looks in my mind. So that's the important part. Okay, and this is our first layer, and we're gonna gradually build in to the centerpiece. All right, we're gonna do that, and then we have one more for the crossbar. Okay, and then I will do one more section, and then I will not, again, bore you with the rest, and then I'll complete it, and then I'll come back to you guys. But see how we have every crossbar on the second row from the outer edge with a petal on. Okay, so here's what we've got. Let me bring the camera up. This is what we've got. So every crossbar has a petal on it, okay? And we've already done this section where we've done the two in the center. So now we're gonna do that one more time for the next section. So we're gonna do two right here, and then so on and so forth. All right, so we're, again, second bar. And what's great about this is that there's no glue. So if you mess up, don't worry. If your petals are not the prettiest, don't worry. It is okay. I'm telling you, my petals, and they're petals. That's what I can say. But I'm just so stinking excited about making this wreath that I don't care what, I mean, I do care, but you get it. Like, I don't care what my petals look like. And again, you can do this with whatever color, mesh, style, all of that jazz. All right. So, and we'll go back through and like, cause you can see where these kind of slide around. I mean, but it's okay. So we're just gonna fluff. Ow, just poked myself on a zip tie edge. And then we're just gonna keep continuing going around. I will be right back when I have this finished. All right, guys. That was my cat. I thought I stepped on him. Okay, I've got every petal on here that we were talking about. Look at how it looks. I'm so excited. Oh my God, I cannot even tell you. Like, I'm like, it's just fine the way it is. Let's just hang this on the wall because it already looks good. Even with like its little, stringy parts, everything like that. I'm telling y'all, we're about to do this for fall too. But aren't you in love? Like, oh my God, look at how cute that is already. So let me bring the camera back down because I want to show you what, like, in case you weren't paying attention before, what we have done so far. Okay, so I put, let me just turn this around. So I put a flower on every single crossbar, okay? And it's on the second, here's the very top one. It's on the second bar from the top. So I went and put one on every single crossbar. I did that first. Then I went back through and put two petals in the center, kind of like overlapping just to by a hair, the petals on the crossbars, okay? So now we've ended up with something like this, all right? Now I will have to cut a few more petals. So yeah, so I said we were gonna do 24. I think because I have a bigger wreath frame than I originally intended on working with, I intended on a 10-inch frame, but we're working with a 12, which is fine. I have plenty of mesh. So now we're gonna take another same petal, and where it has the two that we put, just like the ones that can move that are not on the crossbar, we're now gonna add one to overlap that right there. So where there's two in that center area right there, we're gonna add another one on the same bar, second from the top, okay? We're just gonna kind of fill this whole section up with this first layer. Then we're gonna start adding the different, colors once we get this complete. So now, that's my other cat. I have 4 cats, just in case you guys didn't know that. This is Meow Meow, my oldest and sweet. I'm not gonna say he's sweet because he's not. But my oldest cat, Meow Meow. Oh, he's got something. Okay. So sorry, squirrel. So we did that. Now I like to, because I can get very easily confused when it comes to wreath making. I still like to go in, okay, crossbar, and then I put my finger where that petal is supposed to be, so I know where to put my zip ties. Because once you start having all this on there, you're like, wait a minute, where is this supposed to go? So then again, I lay my zip tie there, grab my petal, and get it secured on there. You know, and get it as tight as you can. All right, and cut this off. And it's as you add to the bar, even though it's all on the same bar, you know, you're starting to overlap each petal, okay? So here we go. So you can see where it's starting to just kind of overlap and, you know, make it look fuller. And then, like I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip this over, and I see crossbar. Hold on. Okay, so right here. So I see crossbar, my 2 petals. So now I want one in the center. So I'm gonna stick my finger right through there because I know that's where I want it. Go ahead and lay that right there. Then we're gonna add my janky looking petal. But you know what's so funny is once you got it laid down in here, you really can't tell that it's frayed. Now, I know somebody's probably gonna say, did you know you can use like hairspray or, goodness, what is it called? A clear coat of Rust-Oleum and spray this down. I'm not going to do that for this video. It is an option. Now, hold on, I have to cut 4 more. That is an option. Now, had I thought about it earlier, I might have done that, but it's in the evening. I don't want to take it outside. So we're just going to work with this. So all that you see on there right now is 1 roll. Okay. So now I'm going to open my second roll and just get a few more cuts out of this. Oh, I turned off my wood burner because I didn't want to scorch myself. Knowing me, I burned myself forgetting that it was even on because it's not something that I normally work with. So we're gonna let that warm up. And so we're gonna be using the wood burner for a lot of the fabric that we're gonna be using. I did hear through some of the videos that I've watched over time that you can't use a wood burner to cut anything with natural jute in it. So I'm like, why is that? You know, I Googled, couldn't find anything. Curiosity kills the cat. And so I did learn. And in case you're like, what's natural jute? Okay, this. So these lines that go through are like a string, like a jute string is what it is. The rest of it's plastic. That wood burner will not cut jute. It will in fact just singe it and smolder. It will not cut through it. So make sure that you are not trying to use a wood burner to cut that kind of fabric, jute. Do not, because it won't work. You'll know immediately. And so, because like I said, as soon as I tried, I was like, oh, I get it. Okay, this needs to be just a little bit hotter. So while we're waiting for that to heat up, let me just set this right here. The next layer is going to be this white, and I did not like how this came out, so I'm just gonna toss that to the side. We're going to be using a white fabric. We're going to, again, be cutting it in 10-inch squares, but this time we're gonna fold it a little different. We're gonna fold it where it's gonna make a diamond and not a square. Or we're gonna fold the two corners in to touch each other like this instead of completely in half. So that's gonna be our next layer. And I think this should be relatively hot enough. I can smell it. Ah, there we go. Okay. I'm just gonna trim this edging off because it's really not even though this is, again, a really hard tool to get, or I mean a hard fabric to get perfectly even. I'm trying to get it as close as I possibly can. So there we go. There we go. All right, so all of that goes in there. We're gonna cut, what did I say? I'm just gonna do 4 more. Just run it through like this. I have to say this is oh so satisfying to use. If you don't like the smoke or the smell, I would suggest wearing a mask. I have my office door open so it doesn't linger in here, so it's not overwhelming, and it really disappears pretty fast. The scent does. as I blow the smoke away from my face. All right. I'm trying to get as close to the 10 inches as possible and cut right down the center. And again, I am cutting on top of glass. Where it came from, nobody knows. It was just here in the house. So I think any kind of glass. Maybe you can use like a baking, like go to the thrift store if you can't find glass and get an old baking tin and use that to cut on. Okay, so this is what I was doing. We're gonna do this, fold in half. There we go. Fold this. Fold this. I got good at this. After folding like, you know, what, 20 something of these, I got pretty good at holding the zip tie with one hand as I fumble right now with it. But yeah, I'm gonna be a pro by the time we get done with this wreath. There we go. And I like to keep my hand over it just to kind of keep it flat. Some petals will come out brilliantly perfect, and the other ones you're just like, what happened? So, and I can't wait to read your comments. And hopefully, for the most part, they're nice. Because I look forward to your comments on this video since it's so different from what we have been doing. And like I said, I'm going to start, you know, there's so many techniques that I want to show you and do with you guys. So we're going to be learning a lot of different methods, and some of them I've done before. Like I said, I've done this once, but not with this many different fabrics and this many layers and all that other stuff. But okay, 3 and 4. Now we are going to use that wood burning tool with the white fabric. So that's why I still have my tool on. I just have it at a distance so I can make sure that I do not burn myself, because that is something that I would totally do. And I really don't want to scream in front of you guys and cry. So, all right, so now that we have this, I have to remember that there's glass on here and not to drop these scissors. All right. Now, again, I've said, if you are that talented person that doesn't have to have it zip tied right here before you add it onto another zip tie on here, man, someday I hope to be there, but for right now, I'm not. So I'm going to go back, flip it over. Here's what, so, oh my goodness. Crossbar, crossbar, 2. I now know I need 1. So I'm just going to put my finger here, add my zip tie, get it prepped. Now this petal right next to it is pretty frayed. So I'm gonna try to be as gentle as possible and then get another one attached in front of it. And hopefully this will cover that funky looking petal in the back. So, all right. Now I may, once this is all complete, do spray it with something. I am not 100% sure. So I will definitely let you guys know if I do and what I used and how it held up. I know people will leave in the comments. Like I said, there was somebody who said like the Rust-Oleum clear spray they used to spray their reeds down before they put all of like their little trinkets. And because we're not gonna have any trinkets on here, maybe we can go ahead. Oh, there he is. We can go ahead and do that. You wanna see Yao Yao? His name is Mr. Kitty Witty. Oh, there he is. There he is. Let's take a little break. Say hi, Meow Meow. So he just sits here. He's just my oldest cat. He's 7. He just wants to be held. He's an old tabby. He followed me home one day when he was a tiny little kitten. Oh, I know. When he was a tiny little kitten, I just kicked him. And so he followed me home one day and was like, will you be my mom? And I said, sure. So, and I never had a cat before, so that's why his name is Mr. Kitty Witty. I call him Meow Meow. I'm just going over, so I have three. It's just easier to see when you flip it over to make sure. 1, 2, okay, I need one right here to see what else I need to do. So I got one right here. All right, and then you can twist your petals to stand more, you know, straighter, you know, because right now, like when I'm putting this one in, it's kind of leaned to the side, but I will. All right, let's get this clipped. This is coming out so, oh my gosh, so pretty. I'm just gonna, I think I need one more right there, right? Crossbar. No, it's got 3. Just needs to slide over a bit. And that's the beauty of it. You can slide these over. Okay, so I think I have one on every single one. This is kind of funky. Let me just adjust and curl. So I want to curl all of them, you know, over this way. So that's what I'm going to do while I have, you know, this first layer. Now, again, with this mesh, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to all go in the direction that you want. So like right here, I have some fraying. It's okay. Believe me, it's okay. Because doesn't it look really good? Oh my gosh. Model. There we go. So cute. All right, so now we're gonna set this aside because now we're gonna work with our white mesh right here, which is a white fabric mesh. I got this for, I'm gonna stick this so my cat doesn't chew it. Okay, so, oh, sorry. I got this on the wreathshop.com and they were out of like the poly burlap, the poly burlap white mesh. So I went with this, and you can use Deco mesh, but it's not gonna fold the same way that this would, because this is not as stiff. It's a little bit easier to work with. So again, I'm going to take my tool and we're gonna cut 10-inch squares for the white fabric. Now this is really nice because this is kind of, and what's nice is that this glass, I can see my mat underneath. So that's why I try to have this like perfectly lined up. So I know exactly where to cut it. Just the most satisfying feeling in the whole wide world is cutting this. Boop, boop. Okay, so we are going to cut, let me get this all out of the way. So we're gonna cut, obviously, more of this, but I want to show you what we're going to do with this. So we're going to do a petal. We're going to take our perfect square, okay, 10 by 10. We're going to take one edge, find the center as best as can be, because I mean, this is still mesh, so it still has a mind of its own. We're going to do that, and we're going to do that, okay? So I believe I have it as perfect as it's going to be. So we're going to scrunch in the center. And now this is what we have, okay? This is a really good one. And we're going to fold it up, okay? We're going to fold it up like this. Now, hold on, sorry. Hold on, I want these petals. Okay. That's how I want my petals to look. I want both sides, both back pieces to face the back. So this is what I'm looking for when it comes to my petal. All right. Now, we're going to zip tie this. All right, so now we're going to, there we go. I'm glad you guys couldn't see my face because I was like really trying to get this tight. Okay, now that it's in the zip tie, you can kind of adjust it. So this is what we've got, all right? We are going to do, let me grab my wreath back because like I said, my original counts were with a 10-inch wreath. So now we're going to do the bottom bar. So we're going to probably do we're going to do two in between. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do 12 white petals like this. Okay. Let me do it one more time for you guys. And then we'll cut to commercial break while I cut the rest. All right. So then we're going to do this. Now you do not have to use this wood burning tool to cut your mesh, okay? You can use just a regular cutter. I'm just being fancy right now. Okay. All right, there we go. And again, we're gonna take this, try to find the center. Try to find the center, and then pinch to the center. And then do the same with the other side. Pinch to the center, okay? Now, you've got your two petals. I don't even know why I tried to do it like that. So you're just gonna pinch it together. Now, this is a thick material, so I have to, oh gosh. So I'm just gonna zip tie and then I'm gonna try to arrange it to the way I want it to look. All right. Before it unfolds on me, try to get this in this zip tie. What did I say? We're going to alrighty. That will happen. There we go. There we go. Thank God I had 100 zip ties. Okay, I like it when I can pull the zip tie through my fingers like this. Alrighty. Ta-ta. There we go. And then you can readjust it and kind of open it up as you want because it's in the zip tie. Just make it just make sure that it's in there really good. And then we're going to clip that off. Yeah. Uno, dos. Okay, so we're going to do 12. I will be right back. Okay, so as I was doing my white petals, I wanted to show you just one more or two more times, because I have two left, how to do this again. It just got easier as, of course, I was doing multiple of them. So you're going to take your 10-inch square, have these two corners meet in the middle. You're going to scrunch this side up on one, scrunch this side up on the other. So this is, normally this is like where we would have, we're going to take this and then fold it. They're going to They're gonna hug. So you're gonna have it go like that, and then stick your zip tie on like so. And then you have your petals, okay? Like this. Now we will do it one more time, and like that, fold in to the center, fold into the center, and then scrunch up, scrunch up. So now you have it like, so like that, okay? What we're gonna do is take it and fold it up. Not together like this, but up, like that, sideways. Okay, so sideways like that. I'm just gonna turn it around so I can see it. Now, there we go. And into the zip tie. All right, now it's time to attach it to our frame. All right, so we've got our frame here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting off these little zip tie pieces. All right, so now where we're going to place this petal, and again, this is very durable fabric, so you're fine. We're going to place this right here on our wreath. Now we're gonna do, let's see. So we have the 3 in the center. We're gonna do on, okay, let me bring this closer. Let me bring this up. So we have crossbar, crossbar, and then our 3 right here in the center. We're now gonna place our white petal on the bottom bar right here, like this, okay? So, let me get this one in. And get this one secured. Yes, the cats are play fighting behind me. All right. Perfect. All right, and then we want our petals, like the curled pieces, to face towards the back, okay? So now we have, so we have one right here, and then now we're gonna do one right there, okay? Right there, right here. I know this is going to be a very long video, and I do apologize for that. I just want you guys to be able to see how to make this wreath and how amazing it will look when we both get this this technique down. So here's what we've got. Okay, super cute, and you can readjust your petals to lay back. Now let's get 2 more. And 1, so we're gonna do the 3 right here. And remember, we're working on the very bottom before our centerpiece bar. Okay, so we're gonna do right here. And get this down in there. There we go. All right. I will show you the back side just in case you still are a little confused. I've got cat hair all over my face. Just in case you're still a little confused where we're placing this, okay? So let me back up and give you this view. Oh my God, I'm just so in love. Okay, now, again, so we're working on this bottom bar, okay? Right here is where we're placing it. Did I already mess? I did. Look at that, Sandra. I'll be right back. Okay, see how I placed it on this top bar? This bar where I have all of this at, that's not where I wanted. I wanted it on the very bottom bar. So this is why it's so good to turn it around and check your work. Sorry for that. Okay, so, all right, we're getting this together, I promise. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. So we have the 3. Okay, crossbar. Ooh, look at me making all kinds of mistakes. And this is why it is okay, because nothing's permanent. I'm gonna run out of zip ties here, man. Alrighty, there we go. There we go. Let me show you, let me bring the camera. I've got it all fixed. I got it together. I'm gonna show you the back because it's just so much easier. So we have crossbar right here, which means one piece is right there, one straw, I'm just gonna call it straw. So one straw flower right there, one straw flower right there. On the very bottom, we're gonna put white straw on the top and then white straw, straw. So straw, straw, white, straw, straw. Okay, so straw, straw, come down, white, come up, straw, come down, white, straw, straw. That's what we're gonna repeat all the way. So you're only gonna have 2 white petals on the bottom bars. Okay, so we're gonna do it again. I'm gonna look at my back. I'm gonna go straw, straw, white is gonna be down here in between this petal. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and place my zip tie right there so I know exactly where it's gotta go. And we're gonna wrap that. And I'm gonna do it loose just so I can make sure. So straw, straw, white, straw, white, straw, straw. Okay, there we go. And again, this is why I like to show you what can happen when you're a beginner. It's not the end of the world. It's just a learning thing, you know. And now I'm like, okay, I got this. So white, straw, and then back down, because remember, we're gonna go back down and gonna go in between here and add our white with our petals towards the back. And then I'll show you what I've got again, the correct way. Okay. All right, here we go. It still looks good. I still love it. And what we're gonna go back through and do is put another petal like this right here. But now we're gonna go all the way around the wreath. Again, I won't bore you with that. I'll be right back. All right, so now I've got all of the white petals on here. Now, because I have odd numbers on here, you're gonna have a couple of extra white petals in certain places, which is totally fine. But I do want to say this, I will list the total amount of each petal in the description box below so you know what to pre-cut when you go to start this. So now that I have my white petals on, we're gonna add more of these. So I've already cut 12 petals because we have 6 sections, okay? I'm gonna flip this around again. So we have 1 section, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are going to use 2 more. Okay, so now we're gonna work on the same bottom row before we get to our centerpiece, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and take one of these. I have now graduated to the big zip ties because I ran out of my little ones. So that means yes, I've actually done, I used 100 zip ties. Crazy. Okay, so let me show you what I'm doing, okay? On this very bottom bar right here, the very bottom one, I am going to thread through a zip tie, okay, between my white petals, okay? And then I'm going to add one of these. And we're going to do this all the way around the wreath. Now, you may end up with odd numbers, which is fine, and then clip. So I'm a person who loves to work in even numbers. So it was a little jarring for me having to do odd numbers, but nobody's going to be able to tell that you're working in odd numbers on this wreath. I'm trying to, there we go. Trying to thread that through. So, sorry, excuse me. So again, through my white, between the white petals, I'm going to add just one of the cornstalky kind of petal. And then we're going to cut. We're going to do this all the way around the wreath. Now, I know I picked a doozy to introduce you guys to flower wreath making, but I just wanted to work with all of these colors and of course this mesh. And so I'm like, what the hell? Let's do it. Let's bring it on. Give me all the challenges, especially when your zip tie is twisted. So yeah, we're going to do some where it's just like two colors. Very simple, very easy. We will be doing a sunflower for those who love sunflowers. So yes, to answer your question that you're mentally asking me, yes, we will be doing a sunflower, and we'll be doing all kinds of different flowers with different, again, fabrics and styles. We're going to get into it. We're going to do all kinds of fun stuff. So you would think that after this we are done. Oh no, we've got more petals to go. This is going to be a crazy full wreath. And I know that these colors are not necessarily springy colors, but if you're really into that farmhouse vibe, that neutral colors, this is going to be perfect in your home. This is kind of like, it goes with everything, but I think, me personally, like, you know, I take my wreaths to the shop and I do sell them, but I actually think, because this is my first one that has been this labor intensive in a long time, and because of all of the work, I mean, that's my labor intensive, duh. The work that I'm just putting into it, the love that I'm putting into it, everything, I think I'm just going to have to keep this for myself. Now I'm just going in between each white petal and placing another one of these petals right there, like on the very bottom row, and just laying it in there. And then, as you can see, I'm just zip tying it. I promise we are towards the end. There is an end to this, I promise. Okay. And boy, I'll tell you right now, I'm feeling more confident with, you know, working with the zip ties, making these petals. As you go along, you know, obviously, like you saw with me, there's going to be a little bumps and, you know, trickiness along the way. But overall, I cannot tell you how satisfying this feels to have gotten this far on this wreath. I am actually, I know you can't see it right now, but I am thrilled to pieces over this. This is something that, you know, I've always wanted to do, and it is happening. And like I said, my confidence is rising. So I hope you guys are enjoying this as well. Like you're taking this challenge on, or maybe you've done wreaths like this before, and you're like, oh yeah, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You can just do something like this in your sleep. If you have, I'd love to see your flower creations. You can send them to me on my Instagram account or my Facebook account. I would love to see them. And we're just about there. So like I said, I cut 12, was gonna work in even numbers, but ow, be careful for the pokiness of the cut edges of the zip ties. Those are not fun to jab yourself with. All right, okay, so I'm probably gonna have to cut 2 more. I'll tell you what, I feel like a professional. So I am just beyond excited about what I'm creating here. And I hope that you guys feel the same way. Okay, we're gonna, come on, roll out. Towards the end of the roll, I've used 2 rolls of this. I'm about to complete the second roll. So that's what you're gonna need for this wreath. And I've cut them again in 10-inch squares. Everything's been cut in 10-inch squares. So what did I say? I'm gonna need 2. And I think I might use this wood burning tool a little bit more often. I'm curious to see how it works on dollar store mesh. Look at me doing this like I'm a professional. We'll try that with different fabrics and whatnot. Obviously not jute. All right, and we've got this right here. Whew, that one looks rough. But it will be hidden behind so much because we are going to do another layer, not of this. We're done with this. Once I put these 2 petals on there, we are done with this. Clip, clip, garbage. Boy, I'm getting a routine down. All right, so now I'm going to attach this again in between the white petals. All right, and uno más. There we go. All right, and we're going to start on our final layer of petals. And then we're going to work on our I'm trying to think of what the center of a flower is called. I'll have to find that out, but we're going to do the center of the flower. We're going to do something real cute. I'm going to work with some rope that I got at the dollar store. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We can just call it done here, right? Holy crap. Look at this right here. I'm telling you what, if you have gotten this far on your wreath, pat yourself on the back. Dang, dude, I am so happy. I'm just like, it's coming out exactly the way I want it to. Oh, I'm so in love. But we still have one more layer. All right, let's set this to the side. And we're gonna grab our white fabric mesh. So we're gonna grab this, hold on. So we're gonna grab this fabric mesh and we're gonna do again, 10-inch squares. Okay, we are going to, we're gonna do 10 because normally we would do 8, but we're working with a bigger frame. So, all right, let me point this down. Again, wood burning tool. We're gonna do 10 of these. I know this is not, you know what? As much as I enjoy this, which I really do, I'm gonna take my glass pane out of the way. I'm gonna grab my handy dandy roller because I can go a heck of a lot faster. This is from the dollar store. Come on, little buddy. Look at that. 1, 2. 3. And remember, this is fabric mesh. This is not Deco mesh. You can use fabric mesh, but I'm sorry, you can use Deco mesh, but it is not going to curl the same way that this fabric will, because Deco mesh has a mind of its own. It's going to do what it wants, which is totally fine. But for this particular wreath, we want it to go in a certain way. That was all kinds of crooked. I think I'm just so excited that I want to get this final petal piece done. All right, we're just about done, and we're gonna double layer this. That's what's gonna be really cool about this. We're gonna layer this on top of that jute fabric that I was talking about earlier that you cannot use with a wood burning tool. We're gonna layer that on top of this. I think I may have cut more than 10, but we're just gonna finish out the roll with the 10-inch squares of the white because we're just to the end. So I've used, I think I've used 2 of these and 2 of, no, I'm lying. I've used 1 of the fabric rolls. Yeah, 1 fabric roll so far. Oh, is it already cut? Okay, so is this a 10-inch? Oh, how bizarre. That was already cut from the roll. That's so weird. Okay, it confused me for a second. So we're gonna go right there. So we're on the one roll of white fabric, 2 rolls of the strange, airy mesh. And, okay, now we're gonna grab this jute right here. This is, again, fabric-y with a little bit of jute entwined. We're gonna cut 10 pieces. We're gonna do this 10 by 10. Get this done real fast. And this is gonna be our final petal layer. And then we're gonna work on our centerpiece, which I'm excited about doing with you guys. And your centerpiece that we're gonna do can be done any way you want. I'm just gonna show you how to use the rope, this nautical rope that I got from the Dollar Tree. We're gonna use that plastic base that I showed you in the very beginning. You can use cardboard or whatever else you want. Something, you know, sturdy, something hard. But we're gonna go ahead and use that, mat. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of that. What is that plastic square piece that we used in the center? I forget the technical name of it. All right, we're just gonna cut a few extra just because while I'm cutting, in case we need it, I hate having to stop you guys and cut. So we're just, and then plus this is fun. I'm on a roll. All right, I need to stop. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna open up our mesh right here, grab a fabric piece. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Now we're gonna lay it inside of each other. I'm laying the white on the inside. Clearly these are not both, one's not 10 inches. And you're gonna fold to the center. Oh no, I'm sorry. You're gonna fold over like this. We're gonna do that petal again. We're gonna fold this over and scrunch. Now this is a lot of fabric. So I hope your fingers are ready for this. That's a ton of fabric that we're holding right there. Okay, we're gonna zip tie this. And we're gonna do, like I said, 10 of these. I will get a couple done with you just to show you what I'm working with. We're gonna leave it like that. We're not gonna space it apart. We're gonna do it again. I'm gonna have this as my bottom piece. And I'm gonna put the white on the inside. Why? No rhyme or reason. That's just what I wanted to do. Okay, there we go. Best as possible. Fold it across like this. And fold over. Scrunch, 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 scrunch. Oh, sorry, out of the frame completely. So sorry. And then scrunch it together. And, you know, your petals are going to look a little different. It's okay. No flower has exact petals all the way around. I'll do one more since I was completely out of frame. Okay, we're going to take our mesh right here. We're going to lay our white right inside. Okay, there we go. We're going to fold it in half, right like that. We're going to fold this over, scrunch, scrunch, scrunch all the way across. And then I like to just fold that corner in, and there we go. Oh, man. I'm telling you, your fingers are going to get a freaking workout doing this. But let me get the rest of these done, and I will be right back. Look at how cute. All right, guys. I've got these petals made. I've got, I did 12 of them, but we'll see what I end up using. Okay, so now here's what we're going to do. We're going to start working on our plastic, okay? So we're just going to start anywhere. Just kind of go about an inch in, okay? And thread your zip tie through, okay? Like that. I went about an inch in, okay? And you're gonna take your first petal, lay it right there, and zip tie it down. Okay, there we go. It's like I can see the finish line. Oh my God, how freaking cute. And again, just go next to it. You know, this one, there's no rules on this. We're just gonna go next to it. And we're gonna add another petal. Okay, we're gonna add this one. Okay, we're gonna add this one right there. Oh, hold on. I put that one in backwards. There we go. And let me cut that one down just a little bit more. All right. We're just going to keep going around. And you can kind of judge where you want to place your next petal. There are no rules. Remember that. Just keep that in mind. And I'm going to do that side. That one's prettier. We're going to zip tie this one down. Shoot, we might not even need all of those because these are so thick. Okay, just so you know what I'm doing. There you go. See how that looks? We're gonna go in with another one. And if your bottom petal pieces are kind of getting in the way, no worries. Just, you know, move around it. And we're gonna lay this one in there. Go around. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna need all of those petals. Okay. All right, guys. Who is ready for this wreath to be finished and be beautiful and hanging in their house? I sure am. This was a lot of work. So, especially for not having any doodads or whatnots on it. But I'm in love. Okay, we're going to go around again. Do it right there. Okay. Sorry for the lull. I'm just getting so excited. It's looking so good. Let's do it. Oh, do. Man, how many layers do we have on this thing? How many zip ties have we used? All right. Gonna go in there and thread it. Oop, wrong one. And I'm just guessing like where to place these. I'm just like, okay, that looks about right. So just so you know, there's no wrong or right way to do this. Just, you know, make it look, just put it next to each other, kind of fill gaps and whatnot. Maybe I will use them all, who knows? And like I said, I went only about an inch in from the original. Oh, I don't want to go right there. From the original bar, so there we go. And you can truthfully put as many petals as you want. You can have this as full as you want. Whatever, this is your wreath. But I think we've got plenty on here with what I'm doing. So I'm gonna do 2 more, it looks like. Alrighty. Pick the prettiest 2. Oh my gosh, one more. One more. Oh my goodness. I think I might scream. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to scream. But hallelujah, it is done. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me get this one done. And we are going to check this out. Oh my gosh. Oh, my hard work is paying off. Oh my goodness. Who's not in love? Long video, but man, gorgeous, gorgeous. All right, I was just looking at the back. All right, time to work on our centerpiece. Let me just clear out a little spot and let's get going. All right, guys, I promise we are just about finished. So now we're gonna make our centerpiece. I am going to use this nautical rope that I got from the Dollar Tree. We're gonna use the entire piece, so you don't have to worry about cutting this. I cut a circle. This is, the diameter on this is about 17. So that's what we got right here. We are now going to, and yes, I do realize that this has holes in it, but we are going to use hot glue to adhere this rope to the centerpiece. But before we do that, we are going to put wire through it so we can attach this to our piece right there. So we're going to cut Let me bring this camera down. We're gonna get 2 pieces of this wire. All right, I'm gonna cut. I want it, you can do 1, but I'm just gonna do 2 for just that added measure. So we're just gonna do this, thread it through, and give it a couple of twists. Doesn't matter where you thread it through, okay? So I've got this right there. And let's say we're gonna put this one right here. Oh wait, make sure they both go in the same direction. All right, so there we go. We threaded this through, okay? And we've twisted it on. Okay, kind of flatten that out. All right, this is what we got. This is gonna lay flat. We're gonna put this, I have this on the back side of my mat. All right, now it's time to glue our rope. Got my hot glue gun right here, all warmed up. I know that this is going to go through here. I'm okay with that until I think of something better, or you guys help me out. That's just what we're gonna work with. Is this hot? Haha, it wasn't on. I'll be right back. Okay guys, we have a hot glue gun working, and it's time to do this. Now, I'm gonna see if we're able to roll this when I do it like this, okay? We're gonna roll it like that. Oh, it's working, okay. All right, so this is what we're gonna do instead. We will still use our base. We're just gonna glue this down afterwards, okay? So you're gonna roll this entire rope. Okay. All right, this is definitely working. And it's okay if like the glue shows on the back, because this is gonna be the downside. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't get so much glue on the very top part. Okay, so this is, again, I should have looked while I was waiting for my glue gun to get hot what the center of a flower is called. If somebody knows, will you please just leave it in the comments? Because I would love to know that. But this is gonna be the center of our beautiful, took forever, flower. But I'll tell you what, sometimes, you know, things that take the longest always pay off. Okay. I'm just so excited how this is turning out. So, all right, look at this. It's coming along. All right. The news is on in the background. It's getting noisy out there. I'm just gonna shut this. All right, ooh, and make sure you don't burn yourself. This glue gun doesn't get super, super hot. I think I've just become numb to it. And so it doesn't really burn me too much. Now I'm gonna kind of lay this down. I'm gonna kind of lay that down just so I can make sure that I get it flattened out a little bit. All right. Now I'm still trying to get this as tight as possible. Now, because this is the back side, like I said, I don't worry about all the glue. I will be putting extra glue on here and then gluing this down to this. All right. Getting glue everywhere on me. All right. Just keep going around. And you don't have to use this nautical rope. I've seen other ways that this was done. This is just my first way of doing this. And of course, when we do flowers in the future, we will be, you know, playing around with different types of fabric. And yes, I'm using my chin to push that glue stick in. All right. I hope most of y'all are still with me, that you guys made it through this video. I'm curious when I go to edit how long this will be. Okay. Y'all get what I'm doing. So, let's try to, don't want to go too fast, but I don't want to go too slow because you guys totally get what I'm doing. I'm making a mess with this glue because it's still coming up through the back, and I'm trying to keep this flat as well. I'm not trying to make a bowl. And all right. Okay, there we go. I don't think I've ever been so happy to complete a wreath because I just can't wait to see it all done. All right. There. Ooh, that one was hot. So now it's pretty much flat. It did not stick to my mat like I thought it was going to, because I decided obviously not to lay it on here and do it. So this was a much easier way. And like I said, we're still gonna glue it to that plastic because that's how we're gonna attach it. This is all I have left. I just need to get another glue. All right. Sorry, I am so concentrating on this. All right, y'all, let's get this bad boy on the wreath. And if my plastic piece, if it's a little too large, because I don't want that to show when I put it onto the wreath. All right, there we go. So I don't want this to be bigger. So let me just make sure that this is in fact not going to show anywhere. And then if it does, we'll just trim it down. So let me put this on here. It is a hair big on the outer edges, so just gonna do a little trimming, give it a little haircut. Ow. There we go, just gonna go around. Perfect. Now, I'm just gonna get glue all over this. And with the wire side up, we're going to attach this to our little mesh piece. Okay, let that adhere. Ooh. And we'll even put glue on the outside of this. Like this. Man, we go through a lot of glue on this. Let me grab some more. Ooh, let's call the big boy in. We'll do that one. All right. I'm gonna let this heat up and I'll be right back. Okay, now we've got this glue gun nice and hot. We're gonna go ahead and just cover this back piece with glue. I just want it to become one with that rope. And I don't want to get burned in the meantime, but I want to give it like a nice push down. Yeah, we're getting real fancy right now. All right, there we go. All right, let's let this dry and we're gonna flip it over and attach it to our wreath. All right, it is now time to attach. I have tons of glue on the back. We are now, oh, and it's still a little warm, but we're still gonna go ahead and attach this bad boy. We're gonna flip it over and we're going to take our wire and thread it through here, through our plastic mesh. Okay, so we're gonna do right there. And then, all right, we're gonna do the other piece. I can't believe we're just about done. Like, for reals this time. All right, come on. Oh my God, isn't that freaking adorable? Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh my gosh, let's get this on. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to do a soft tie, meaning I want to double check it before I oh my gosh, dude, all of it was so worth it. Okay, I'm going to flip it back over and really get this on here. Get it twisted on here. And because my fingers are just about done with this kind of stuff, I'm gonna have to use my big pliers to do a little bit of the tight twisting. I will be putting a backing on this, but for right now, we're just gonna call it done. Get that in the garbage. So I don't want this to stick out. Kind of turn that down inward. So until I get the backing on there, nobody gets hurt. Oh my goodness. Where's that petal at? There it is. Ta-da! The 5-hour wreath that I thought we would never finish has now been completed. And I love it. I'm just so freaking in love with it. Oh my gosh. We did it, guys. We did it. If you've watched this tutorial in its entirety, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we freaking did it. We did it. I love it. Even if the petals are kind of being annoying right now, I'll get over it. But how beautiful is that? Worth every minute. Worth every zip tie. So cute. I love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me when it came to this flower tutorial. I know it was a bit long and there was a lot of steps to this. Do not get frustrated if you weren't able to do this just yet, because this was definitely something that I have been practicing for a while, not in its entirety, but I have done petals. And so this is the first time that I've actually completed the full wreath. So I didn't know how long it was going to take, but just practice, give yourself some leeway, you know, be patient with yourself. This is a hard wreath to do because of the different types of material that we're using. There was a lot of petals and it was all new. I will be doing one that is just like a simple sunflower, you know, red and yellow, or oh my gosh, my brain's fried. Yellow and green, because we're gonna do the background, and then the brown center. But it will not be as long as this, I promise. This is just something that I was like, I wanna do this, and let's record it and like make it a tutorial, because if this thing comes out the way I have it in my mind, oh my God, it's gonna be phenomenal. And I'm telling you what, it is. I am so dang proud of this wreath. I don't think I wanna part with it. I love it. Like, I absolutely love this wreath. So anyways, if you watch the tutorial and you actually complete a wreath, please send me your pictures, because I wanna see what you guys created. And if you end up using this kind of mesh, you know, the real big spacey one, this one, let me know how it worked for you. Oh my gosh, what a long tutorial. But thank you so much for watching this whole entire time. And of course, if you like this video and you found it helpful, informative, useful, all of those great things, give it a thumbs up. So so it lets me know that these are the things that you want to see. And I'll keep continuing doing flower wreaths. If you give it a thumbs down, I'm gonna think that you guys don't want flower wreaths. But anyways, and if you like what I'm like throwing your way, if you're like, just keep giving me more crafts, more good stuff, then please subscribe to my channel. That way I know that you're still loving all the content. And of course, share, spread the word, spread the love, and I will definitely be back with some more wreaths, some more all kinds of stuff, because now that we're getting into warmer weather, we're gonna start doing all kinds of stuff. And I know I say that, but gosh, it's gotta be 1 week at a time. So we're going places, especially now that we've completed a flower wreath. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a fabulous week, and I will be back with you guys again in my next video.